Hello.
Hello and welcome to Streambox. I am your host Chris Can. It is great to have you here today. Thanks so much for joining us. And if you have been liking our content or if you've just stumbled across our channel, please do subscribe, hit that bell button, give us an thumbs up to get the algorithm rolling along and get us out there and see if we can entertain some other people along the lines that are into their TV shows and films and like the type of reviews that we're doing here. Speaking of reviews, last week we had a review on the TV show Luther, which went down pretty well, and I actually quite enjoyed doing it myself. So I found myself wanting to do something a little bit more similar this week. So I'm doing a review on the TV series that I've been watching, Mayor of Kingstown.
We get paid to give advice. So let me give you some. Wherever you're from, you should go back. You won't make it here. You help these parasites. You hold it together for everyone else.
It is intense. Not going to lie, straight off the bat, it's an intense show. It's got a lot of drama based around this whole family called the McCluskeys. The McCluskeys are three brothers and their mother. Now, the three brothers, Kyle, who's a police officer, Mitch, who's the oldest, and Mike, who's played by Jeremy Rayner, run this business that their father set up. Brokers deals between inmates in prison, police officers, and the prison guards. Not just that, but he also talks to the leaders of the gangs of the whites, the blacks, and the Hispanics and so forth, trying to keep the peace in this city called Kingstown. Because Kingstown is a main city that is just built of prisons. And the whole income of this city is basically prison income. So their crime rate is quite high as well. So it's a very dramatic, what would you call it? Melting pot. It's a very dramatic melting pot for this whole scenario to play out. There's always something happening, somebody conniving, somebody dying, somebody looking to get a hand up on somebody else. And the McCluskey family are trying to keep the peace between all of this while it's all going on. And everyone's fighting for power among it. And Mitch, he's the oldest brother, so he leads this sort of tribe. And he is, at the start, he's the main man. He's the man that everyone goes to. Everyone likes Mitch. Mitch deals with everything. He took over from the father. He's doing a great job. Mike just sort of helps out and potters along with him. He doesn't really get involved in the business, but he does work for Mitch. He sort of just does what he's told and potters along and so forth, and looks up to his brother. That's the performance that you get from them. That Mike loves Mitch, looks up to him, and he just wants to be around him all the time. He loves his older brother. Now, in the very first episode, there's a scenario that happens to Mitch.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
And this is the catalyst, or the origin story of Mike, and where Mike comes from. How he becomes the mayor of Kingstown. Mike grows into this scene because of what happens to Mitch, and he's left to look after the business. Now, within the first episode, Kyle is trying to convince him that he doesn't need to take this on after what's happened to Mitch. He doesn't have to do it. He can be his own man. He loves to cook. He's a chef. And he was thinking about moving off into the forest to be this outdoor chef and learn how to cook on nature and so forth. So he has a different sort of goal in life, and what he likes, the peace and the quiet and the tranquility of nature. But he just can't seem to get this other business out of his blood. Whether he likes the idea of being the power struggle or so forth, but I don't believe that that's what the character is. I feel that he loves to help people, and we see that through this first season. He is definitely a man that's troubled, which I think any good drama needs to have a lead character has a trouble to him, or troubling aspects around his life, from family issues to relationship issues to his own inner demons that he fights. So all of this is going on, and what's happened to his brother has led to the moment of where he rolls into this industry and he rolls into the lead of mayor of Kingstown. So he takes on all this. Now he is the new broker between everybody, and it explodes. It explodes on his lap. He is dumped with this information that just takes off.
Law, we don't break the law, we bend it.
Yeah, I know what your job is. Couriers, fix-it men, part-time gangsters.
He's gonna have to do what he's told.
All the way through the show, we are graced with the wonderful, kind Diane West. Now, Diane West plays the mother of the boys, and she is fantastic. Now, you might not remember Diane West, but if you are an old school movie man like myself, you might remember her from such films as The Lost Boys.
Garlic, how did that happen?
Guys, he likes garlic.
Sorry.
Here, quick, drink some water.
Whoa! Sam, what's the matter with you?
Does it burn?
Burn? What are you, nuts? It's freezing.
Or you might remember her from other films where she starred in the comedy Parenthood. And look at that, Keanu Reeves in there rocking it.
Little dude. You sure we can talk straight?
Yes, she is so young, and you probably might not know it's her, but how could you forget that face? And what a performance she delivers. She is excellent throughout this. She loves her boys, and she despises her husband by what I could tell about it, or what business he created, more than despising him maybe as a person, and how he's left it and brought his sons into this corrupt industry. Now, we can't tell if she's very fond of Mike, but I suppose she has a mother's love and a mother's, not hatred. Hatred's not the right word, because no parent hates their child, really, unless they're really disturbed as a parent. But realistically, she has this dislike for Mike because he's taking up the business of what his father has, and also he's been in prison, so she knows he has this darkness and this criminal side to him. But she is wonderful. She is looking after young prison inmates by teaching them and educating them in a woman's prison. She is all about the heart.
And in her blighted way, Miriam is trying to save him from the same fate. But of course, he doesn't listen. So there's a whole mix of things going on, her mourning and her rage and her trying to get her son to wake up, her living son to wake up.
The mother really plays the role of the moral side of life. She is their moral whisper in their ear. From how she speaks to her son Kyle, who lives with her, and his wife, who she finds out is, let's not say any word because you can watch the rest of the show, but she knows information and she approaches the information that she finds out very, very cunningly, but also with a lot of love. She does an excellent role in this show, and if you're looking to sort of see how a parent might deal with 3 boys that are all from different mindsets, and for something really dramatic to happen to her oldest, she does a great job.
As an actor, you have to be careful acting Sheridan because of his bigness. You've got to keep the subtlety there. You can't yell about it. You've got to do a subtle, incremental, step-by-step approach to it. Otherwise, it's fake. To compensate, the crew becomes my audience. And I can tell if I've done a scene well by their silence, the quality of their silence, or by their reaction, or somebody giggles behind the camera. I think, I got it. So I have been kind of making up my own audience.
Now, there's many antagonists in this show because obviously it's a prison show. There's a lot of criminals that are based in this prison, and there's a lot of ongoings between different factions in the prison as well that cause conflict, and then that cause conflict outside. So what happens in the prison happens on the outside, on the streets. It's very, very well done, and the writing is excellent. But there is one main antagonist that I find is sort of itching at to set up for later on, and that is Aidan Gillen. Aidan Gillen plays villains very well. He's quite a dark actor. He has this, I don't know, it's a scary side to him. I would call it a scary side. So he is one of the main villains in this show, and he's constantly pushing at Mike, constantly trying to push his buttons or wind them up or catch him out in different ways and set up things. But Mike is an absolute beast. He doesn't take a lot of shit from anybody.
Don't ever threaten me again.
All throughout the show, you are gripped. The storyline is constant, it never lets up, and there's nothing left behind in regards to episode 1 to episode 10. There's no information, and you think to yourself, oh, what happened this person? What happened that character? Or why did they stop talking about that situation? That doesn't happen at all. And it tends to happen in a lot of shows when a lot of information is thrown at you. But this does it very, very well. Speaking of all that, the way it's shot is dark and gritty, and the cinematography is, I wouldn't say beautiful, but it is definitely very engrossing. The cinematography is so, pulls you in. Like, there's moments where he goes out to his cabin where he lives, and it's just peaceful and quiet, and it's just solitude. And then there's the moments when he's back in the city, and you can feel the grind and the sort of the negativity that's around the area, and everything is sort of piling on top of your shoulders. It's so well done. So well done. This TV show is on Paramount Plus. Now, Paramount Plus has some excellent TV shows at the moment. I could talk about some other ones that have come out in the future, but I'm only really getting into Paramount Plus at the moment, so I'm sort of trolling through, seeing what they have. They've really got some good films as well, which I'm going to bring up in the future. But for me, I would definitely give Mayor of Kingston 3.5, a little half there, 3.5 PBs. It's well worth a watch. Season 2 has started as well. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen with Season 3, as with Jeremy Rayner's injury, so we'll see what happens about that. So all the best to Mr. Rayner on getting better, and fingers crossed that he is back on his 2 feet. But thank you very much for watching Streambox. I am your host, Chris Can. It's been great to sit here and chat with you again today. If you are liking our content, you're liking how our reviews are going, and they are actually making you say, do you know what, I'm going to watch that show, I'm going to give it a go. Well, then subscribe, hit that bell button, share us out, leave a comment, give an L thumbs up, but definitely have a chat with us. Let me know what you're watching, or recommend something to me that I might like, and I would definitely be interested in checking it out. Listen, have a great week, and all the best from Streambox.
Streambox, oh Streambox, the place where all your streams can come through. Oh, yes, it's through Streambox we review, but we do it all for you. Streambox fix you.